So I want to watch a video real quick about Haru Urara, the horse who apparently never won anything. And the thing is, it's like in the game, in the Umamusume game, it's like really hard to win like the big race with her. But she has such a good attitude, like in the game. Like even when you lose, she's like, she comes out like looking happy, even when she loses. And I freaking love it.
Hi. This video, I will explain about the Japanese horse racing program. Many of the Japanese races are difficult to understand because the names are in Japanese.
Okay.
So I would like to explain each category.
While they're actually running on dirt too.
This time, local horse race. Most of the horse races in Japan that
Do you guys think that like since Umamusume is doing so well in the West, I'm pretty sure like a lot better than they expected. Like I feel like the game is like reached a level of hype that like really you don't see too much because like there are gacha games that are popular amongst gacha gamers. But like I feel like a lot of people are into Umamusume who aren't even really into gacha games. So like I feel like the unexpected like popularity of the game in the West, do you think that they'll make a spin-off of like Western racehorses? Because the West also has like a huge legacy of horse racing. There's a lot of history and stuff that they could use. You know, it's like I wonder if they'll make like a spin-off about the American ones, right? That'd be really cool. Yeah, I'd love that.
Show in my videos.
And then like you could like, for instance, you could have like one of the horses because the horses did travel overseas. You could have like one of them as being like the link, right? Like you could have like, for instance, you could have like, you know, El Condor Pasa or something like that, like kind of going to America and then like you seeing things like through her point of view would be really cool, right? Yeah, and then like you get to interact with all of these other horses. That'd be like really neat. I'd love that.
Sponsored by the Japan Central Racing Association. From now on, I will call it JRA.
Your cousin has a racing horse?
Apart from these, there are also horse races that are independently organized by local governments. Today, there are 15 racetracks where races are held. Local horse races have lower prize money than JRA.
One thing that's really sad though is, so again, like when I was a kid, I did experience a lot of horse racing because my dad was really into horse racing. He was like really into like gambling and horse racing. So I have seen like these places and I've been to like these tracks, right? And it's really like sad to know that, because I know this, a lot of the smaller tracks started to shut down like right away, like kind of like around the time that I was a kid, a lot of these smaller tracks started to shut down. And like, I don't know, like, I guess people just became less interested in horse racing, but, it was a lot bigger. Like, I guess, I feel like it was a lot bigger before. Yeah.
JRA races. The highest prize money in JRA is 300 million yen for a first place finish in the Arima Kinnan, while in local horse racing, the Tokyo Grand Prize is 80 million yen.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is partly due to the fact that of the race horses born in Japan, the ones with the best qualities tend to belong to JRA, and the horses that are not likely to do well in JRA races, in other words, the ones that don't fetch a high price as foals.
I mean, I assume like this is kind of like similar to like major leagues versus like minor league, like kind of like sports, right? Kind of similar to that. You have like more local, like more amateur stuff for like kind of more enthusiasts, rather than, you know, the big dick like professional circuits, right?
Local races. For these reasons, JRA races tend to attract stronger horses. There is an image that local horse racing is of a low level, but this is also partly true. That is why some horses that can no longer win at JRA races move to local races in search of a chance to win. But on the other hand, there are times when top-class horses in low-level local races are transferred to JRA races to challenge themselves.
So they don't have like as much of like a pedigree as like these kind of, you know, super pro horses, but like I guess they get to move up.
Some famous cases are Agri Cap and High Seiko. Most of the local races have only dirt tracks.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that the dirt track was just, now that I remember, oh my God, that's actually true. Now that I remember, like the smaller horse racing, like actual like real horse racing tracks I've been to, the small towns all had dirt tracks, now that I think about it.
Local exchange grade races were established in 1995. At that time, Grade 1 races were also established, and both local
I guess because it costs money to like actually like maintain the turf, right?
horses and JRA horses are allowed to run in the exchange grade races. This has made it possible for horse racing fans to watch exciting races through dirt grade racing. However,
I like how it's called dirt grade.
sales of local horse races have never been better. Since around the 1990s, more and more local governments have abolished local horse races due to financial difficulties.
Yeah, it's like someone in chat said that it was really expensive to actually run these, right? These horse races. I mean, I imagine like logistically it'd be like pretty hard.
Local horse races are usually held in areas with few people, so there are usually few spectators.
Yep.
Kochi horse
It's like, okay,
racing.
let's just like let me get an idea for it. How many of you guys, like when you were young, your parents took you to a horse race track and like you've actually seen like a live like event? How many of you guys have seen that? Like type a 1 in chat if you have. So it's like not that many. It's not like super a lot, right? Yeah.
Was also being considered.
And you know what this might be? This might just be like a thing of entertainment, right? Because nowadays there's so many other ways to be entertained. Like people are being constantly entertained now, right? Like you're like permanently entertained because of like phones, right? Like you're taking a dump, you're entertained. You're on a bus, you're entertained. You're walking, you know, you're in your car, you're driving from point A to point B, you're listening to a podcast. You're entertained all the time now. So it's like before I'd imagine like a horse race would be like the highlight of like a thing, kind of like a circus or something, a circus or like a carnival, you know, like the fair, local fairs, like all of these things were like big events, right? For people and like their entertainment, right? It's like the same thing with like live sporting events, right? But nowadays there's so many other ways, like the competition for entertainment is crazy now, right? So like you also consider that like it's really expensive to like raise these horses, really expensive to transport these horses, set up like these races. And you know, these horses are living, breathing things. So they're living, breathing entities. And like having to like move them from point A to point B, feed them, all of this stuff. Like you have to imagine like this is competing with like everything. YouTube, you know, UFC, everything, MMA, and all of the other sort of, you know, singing concerts. Like horse racing, I'd imagine is like not as worth it, except for like in the case of like betting, right? Sports betting would be the only way. And like if a lot of places outlaw sports betting, then it becomes a lot less viable. Also, in addition, it's easier than ever to bet on things that are not within your local area, right? Like if you wanted to do sports betting, you can do it online now. Like before, like you had to go to physically to a place to sports bet, right? So like it wasn't like that big of a thing to like go to like a place to sports bet versus go to an actual track and like watch the horse races live, right? Nowadays, a lot of people are watching it like remotely, like on TV. So like you have like these kind of smaller like horse racing circuits like kind of dying out because again, like why do that when you can watch the big horse race wherever it is in the world, right? You can bet on like, you know, you could probably bet on Japanese horse races, like even if you're not even in Japan, right? So that's probably like what's been going on, right?
For discontinuation because sales were not good. It was around 2003. There was one mare. The mare hadn't won a single race since her debut.
Haru Urara is an actual girl horse like this time. Like it's an actual mare this time.
The
actual
horse's
waifu
name
horse.
was Haru Urara.
Freaking Hello Kitty. That's so cute.
When she had lost 60 consecutive games since her debut.
They even like did her hair. Like, look, they did her hair like with little braids and stuff. Oh my God, dude. That's so cute.
Articles about her started appearing in the newspapers, and she kept losing more and more in a row. Strangely enough, she was also featured on the national TV news and other media. Gradually, people began to take notice of the mare health.
You know why? It's because people now are like, I want to be there. I want to be there the one time that she wins. That's going to be me in the stands. I'm going to be there for the historic moment that, you know, the big loser finally wins.
And wanted to see her on the track.
Oh my God. I would totally do that.
2003, she recorded her 100th consecutive loss after her debut. As many as 5,000 people came to the Kochi Racecourse for this race, and the ticket sales for this race exceeded 3 million yen.
Oh my god!
This was the highest amount in the history of Kochi horse racing.
Dude, people just wanted to see, like, is this the time that she's gonna win?
In March 2004, JRA's top jockey, Yutaka Take, rode her in her 106th.
Oh my god. Wait. Dude, they were equipping her maximum to win. They even like got like the top jockey. Like they're like, okay, this is the time. You know, we're finally gonna make you into a winner. We have all the conditions set.
Race. As many as 13,000 fans came to the Kochi Racecourse that day. Everyone bought a single ticket for Haru Urara, and her ticket alone sold over 120 million yen.
Oh my goodness.
Total ticket sales for the day were more than 860 million
Holy
yen.
crap. Okay, that's hold on. Almost $6 million in ticket sales, chat. Almost $6 million.
And
for like a local horse racing event. Right, like a small town horse racing event.
Merchandise sales were more than 10 million yen. She ended up not winning until the end, retiring with 0 wins in 113 races.
Oh my, that is incredible.
After she retired, Kochi horse racing once again fell into financial difficulties.
Oh my gosh, she was carrying. Even though she was the loser, the biggest loser, she was carrying. Just because people were probably just in love with the story, right? Just like, I think a lot of people can relate to that, right? Like you just keep losing, and it's like you just keep trying. And like I think everybody was cheering her on. Everybody wanted her to win, right?
However, recently, sales have been higher than when Haru Urara was running. And that's many times over.
Yeah, is that when Umamusume came out? Is that when it came out, guys? I bet there's like an actual, like, I bet you could point to like a literal bump. Like the instant Umamusume came out, I guarantee you, like that year, the sales started to go up for Japanese horse racing. I guarantee it.
They are trying to get horse racing fans to enjoy themselves through various appeals. And the fans are responding. Oops, I focused a little too much on Kochi horse racing. There were many requests for Haru Urara, so I introduced her here. It was a little difficult for me to make a video just about her.
I mean, there's like nothing, right? There's nothing. There's not. I mean, what is there to say? She lost She lost over 100 races. Never won a single one.
Win a single race. But she did bring a lot of fans to the track, which is great. Mm-hmm. I'd say she's definitely a great horse.
She's a very cute horse. What do you guys think, chat? A very cute horse.
She is still alive and living the rest of her life.
Well, she's 25 years old? Wait, isn't that really fucking old for a horse? Hold on. How long do horses live? 30 years max. Like 25 to 30 years. She's like she's an old folks home now.
She is now 25 years old.
I heard that she's still doing visits. I heard you can still visit her, actually.
That's all for this time.
But she's 29 now? Oh my god. Yeah, I heard she's still alive. I heard you can still visit her, like right now. Dude, if you want to go visit her, you better hurry the fuck up, guys. You better hurry up. You got maybe like 2 years, maybe 3. Yeah, you gotta go now. You gotta go now, right? But yeah, it's really fun because like in the game, she has like a really good attitude. Like in the game, I feel like she's like always like super happy and genki. And even when she's like loses, so like whenever you like at the end of a match, like depending on like how they place, they usually have like a certain like attitude like at the end. And like almost all the horses like look really sad like when they lose. Like they're like kind of frowning and stuff. But like when you run, like you'll run like Haru Urara in like the like final like race of her career, and like she gets like last place, like she gets absolutely like decimated in like the last race, and she comes out, and at the end like she's like it was so funny in my run with her. I actually tried to make her win the last race, and dude, she ended up in last place. Like it was really funny. Like everybody went through, and it was like I was like, oh, did I just not see her pass? I was like, did I just not see her? And then like I swear to you, like 5 seconds later, I see her running into see her running into frame, and she's like, Haru is in last place, and she's like running, and she's like has both of her arms in the air, and she's like cheering, and she's like super happy, and she's smiling, and she's waving at all of the crowd. It's so precious, man. It's like it's so precious, man. Oh man, you guys want to watch there's like another video. There's a recent one that came out.
While racing other Umas that I had obtained, there was one that stood out to me in particular. I'm talking about Haru Urara, the bright-eyed, pint-sized Uma with a heart of gold and a dream.
Her like win animation is like the best. It's like her head fucking explodes. Like look at
Haru Urara.
Look at her win animation. She's like can't even believe that she won. Like look.
A pint-sized Uma with a heart of gold and a dream. In the anime, she's a friend of our main protagonist, Special Week, and a determined Uma despite her bubbly exterior.
Yeah, and the thing that's really cool is a lot of the lore is actually somewhat based on like the actual story of like the horses that they're named after, which is really cool.
Each and every Uma are based on real Japanese racehorses. Even the rights to the names of these horses paired with their respective characters had to be obtained from their rightful owners. Haru Urara is a racehorse that is still alive today, and his story is one clearly reflected in our game.
Haru Urara is actually a girl horse.
Haru Urara, the actual racehorse.
the freaking cute, like, just like the braids and everything, like, man.
Viewed on November 17th,
Like, you can tell, man, dude, the thing that like kind of really touches my heart is you can tell that the owner really loved her. You know, like the owner loved her enough to be like, we're just gonna keep going, you know, like we're just gonna keep going, like it doesn't matter, you know, and like just dressed her up and everything. It's so cute.
At the Kochi racetrack. Like all debuts, this one was also...
Wait, they abandoned her, NK? Wait, what happened? Wait, what's the story? They abandoned her? It says NK, hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Wait, maybe it talks about it in here. They abandoned her? Oh my god, that's so sad.
Met with anticipation for the horse's performance.
They abandoned her, and the fans of the race and Uma had to start on a little... Wait, really? Oh my god, how dumb. Wait, so what? Did she get sold to someone else? NK?
In this race, Urara replaced 5th and dead last, a display of potential only to be brought down with an unrelenting loss. For most, this would be seen as a comeback story, one where Urara rises to the top like they do in our game. But unfortunately, this would not be the case. Over the next 6 years, from 1998 to 2004, Haru Urara would suffer a total of 113 losses on the racetrack.
Man!
A total record of 0-113. So, you may be asking yourself, why isn't
They're like literally that person that plays ranked and they're like perma bronze. You know, they just perma bronze. They just cannot get out of bronze. It's like, I'm sure we've all known a person like that. A person who's like perma bronze. They've tried their best. They really do everything. They watch the replays. They watch the guides. They're just perma bronze. There's like nothing they can do about it.
Named after a horse with such a terrible track record even in this game? Well, the answer to that actually lies in the training races that you conduct with Urara in game. When training any Uma, you're tasked with completing certain objectives in order to progress further. Some are placing in races, or sometimes even taking first place. Others are more simple tasks, like accumulating fans.
Yeah, hers is just to get fans.
Or wins in races. For Urara, her final race before the Ura finale is the Arima Kinen. However, unlike the other Umas, there's no requirement for placement whatsoever.
You don't have to win. Her final battle doesn't matter. All you have to do is get enough fans to have the clout to enter. That's it.
However, in the game, you will more than likely place dead last in the race,
Yup.
ending 16th. Urara is a dirt racer who specializes as a front runner in both sprint and mile-long races, but this is a long-distance race on a turf track rather than a dirt one. This crushing defeat for Urara is devastating to her in the game, but in the end, she's happy to even have participated. So I'm sure it comes as a shock when the next turn results in you entering the Ura finale series. In-game, she's able to participate not because of placement, but because of her devout...
Look, guys, look at her. She's like covered. Look at her. Look at how happy she is. And look, she's covered in dirt. Look at this animation, guys. Look at Look at this.
placement, but because of her devout following and overall popularity.
Oh my god.
This is a direct reflection of real-life events once again. Although Urara never took home a victory on the track, this racehorse had one of the largest fan bases of their era. Remember the Kochi racetrack I mentioned earlier, the one where Urara initially debuted? Well, this underdog attracted a surge of visitors to the track unlike anything people had witnessed before. 3,000 people gathered outside the racetrack for Urara's final race in 2004.
Did they just fucking paint her on the side of this mural?
3,000 people gathered outside.
What, God, chat. Why does this make me feel so much? Like, why am I like about to cry? Like, this is so ridiculous.
At the racetrack for Urara's final race in 2004. It was such an overwhelming amount that the people who ran the track had to open it early to allow people in. In addition, a total of 13,000 spectators also flocked to see Urara's final race in person. Fans not only loved this
She's on my
racehorse,
team, man. Like, I have her on my racing team.
but they believed in Urara's
I need a partner for her though. She doesn't have a partner because like she's the only fucking dirt runner.
ability
I need to like raise like another one to like be her partner.
firmly. A total sum of 121 million yen was used to bet in the favor of Urara winning. This wasn't anything new either. Fans of Urara would always gather and bet on him winning with a small chance that a miracle could happen. A tale of an underdog who never gave up fighting, despite all odds being stacked
So this actually doesn't talk about the past and
against
how the owners abandoned.
the embodiment of this.
So like I wonder if like she was abandoned by like her original owners and somebody picked her up. Because then like why would you do this? Like all of this stuff is like a lot of effort, you know? Like were they doing it just for show? Because like this seems like something someone would do to a horse that they love, you know? There's a documentary about her. Do you know where it is? NK? Can you DM it to me on Twitch?
Gave up fighting, despite all odds being stacked against them. The embodiment of this endless persistence and dedication
Look at her, guys. Look at how happy she is. That's what she looks like all the time in the
is
game.
personified in a bubbly, energetic Uma, who loves racing and gives every competition her.
Every time, dude. Okay, do you see how all other horses look kind of depressed? When she loses, she still does this. Even if she gets last place, she still does this animation.
I was already invested
so
in Urara
good.
just by this.
Just like seeing her like in 16th place, like coming out there with like her hands in the air, like all happy, like waving at the crowd. It's like, it's amazing.
Little Easter egg, but reading more into the history of what inspired her only made me more dedicated to win. I swear to you, there is a fucking way to win the Arima Keenan, and I will make a goddamn video on it when I'm able to beat it. This little bean deserves the absolute world, and I hope this video encourages all of you to race her too. If I find any more interesting topics like this in Umamusume, I'll definitely make a small video
Who's my favorite Uma? Nice Nature. Nice Nature is my favorite. Johnny.
about it in the future. If you have any Umas that you'd like me to cover, be sure to let me know. I'd love to hear who your favorite Uma is, or which Uma has a rich history that I can dive into.
Yo, me
in the
too, says
future.
Gilmar.
For now, it's back to the stables for me. I gotta keep grinding for good parent stats on a Guri Cap too, so wish me luck on that one.
Well, like they're kind of different. Like Nice Nature, I want to take care of her, but Rudolph, I would want to marry her.